office at Rolling Fork. And for more information on these and other events, you can go to our Farm Week website. Mississippi has long been a major contributor to the world's food and fiber supply, but in the future, those same crops might have another value as energy. Mississippi Alternative Energy Enterprise is working to make this a reality for state farmers. It's working with researchers to develop the technology to turn Mississippi's natural resources into viable energy sources. Farm Week's Brian Utley reports.
I think that the opportunities for alternative energy in Mississippi are endless.
Mississippi has always taken advantage of a beneficial agricultural environment blessed with abundant natural resources. With the numerous commodities being produced, however, come many byproducts and organic waste that could be converted into an energy source called biomass. The fact that Mississippi could be a leading biomass producer has led to the creation of the Mississippi Alternative Energy Enterprise.
We want to make sure that everyone around the state knows what is going on in alternative energy, so we coordinate the efforts between the research universities, the government, the communities, as well as industry.
Operating out of Jackson, the Mississippi Alternative Energy Enterprise was formed in January of 2002 under the direction of the Mississippi State Legislature. The enterprise is a combined effort of the Mississippi Department of Ag and Commerce and the Mississippi Technology Alliance. Currently, the MAEE is working with researchers across the state to develop a future energy strategy for Mississippi. One of the first steps has been to go directly to the source, the producers themselves.
The group effort is a justifiable must, because I cannot get out there and invent it on my own because I don't have the resources available to me. But
William Garner was one of several producers in attendance at this farmer focus group meeting in Jackson. The meeting was one of a series of statewide focus groups arranged by the MAEE and the Mississippi Farm Bureau Federation to assess farmer energy needs. Garner, a poultry producer from Morton, was very receptive to the possibility of using biomass power to heat his 8 chicken houses. In January of 2001, he, like other producers, experienced heavy losses when gas prices nearly doubled due to frigid temperatures.
anytime we can find a alternative means of fueling an asset that we already have on our farm. I mean, it's not like we have to buy anything. If we can design something to burn this chicken litter, poultry litter, as you want to call it, and to create heat, if it's to create heat, if it's to create electricity, if it's to create gas to burn in the electric heater. So yeah, anything that we can benefit to it would be very much helpful in it.
We do know that there's some creative engineers out there and inventors who have good ideas. But until it's put in a real-world situation on the farm, you take in management, you take in costs, you take in the things that it takes to make this work. This is where these two meet. This is where the rubber hits the road, I reckon you can say.
Experiments are currently underway as the enterprise is teamed up with the Society of Mississippi Inventors to work on improving already existing technologies like this gasifier unit. The mobile unit can convert a variety of products, including wood chips, into a methane gas that could be used to supply power to a home, a small business, or even a farm operation.
The secret is to get it rich enough that once you ignite it, it stays lit. At that point, you can disconnect your blower, you can shut off your valve, and you can hook it to the input side of your engine, whether it's a tractor or a generator or whatever, and the suction from the engine is going to pull the fumes in just like it does with gas fumes, and it should run.
Project manager Tony Jeff of the Mississippi Alternative Energy Enterprise says with the proper modifications, this type of technology could provide many industries with a self-sufficient power supply. Lumberyards, for instance, could take sawdust and other wasted wood remnants and generate electricity to run their sawmills.
In situations where you have wood waste available, where you have cotton gin trash available, or other fuel sources available for essentially free, then these can be economical and compete with traditional power. And Jeff Hoovler and Harmon Moore with the Society of Mississippi Inventors have done all the work on this and have made significant improvements.
The possibility of relying on agricultural waste for the creation of biofuels goes far beyond just benefiting farm or industrial operations. It reaches into the general public as well. Approximately 60% of all crude oil being used in the U.S. is bought from foreign countries. Co-chairman Lester Spell says considering the precarious situations in the world today, America needs to be doing all it can to reduce dependence on foreign fuels.
Today, yesterday, and tomorrow, the United States is going to buy 600,000 barrels of crude oil from Saddam Hussein. You know, that doesn't sit good today with most Americans, and they don't realize how dependent we are on these foreign countries.
Production facilities creating biofuels such as ethanol or biodiesel are operational within the United States, concentrated mostly in the Midwest. The Mississippi Alternative Energy Enterprise hopes to build up the ethanol industry in this state, and a lot of that research has fallen to the Chemical Engineering Department here at Mississippi State University.
There are 4 techniques to make ethanol from biomass.
Dr. Mark Zappi says that while 99% of ethanol production is a result of traditional dry mill corn fermentation, it's not necessarily the best method, especially for producers. Only a small percentage of the total plant is used this way, and the rest is wasted. The combined research of the Biosciences and Chemical Engineering departments at Mississippi State University are making headway in lowering the total cost of 3 new ethanol production techniques. Zappi says that these methods can use a variety of agricultural wastes and use them in their entirety.
These 3 are the new technologies of the future that are almost ready for full scale, and what's holding them back is not the technical know-how, it's the cost of today's technology. As science catches up and we have new breakthroughs, that will then result in cheaper production costs, expanding our market.
Where alternative energy in Mississippi goes from here, only further research, experimentation, and implementation will tell. One thing is for sure, although it may take time to shift over from traditional fuels, there is no denying that Mississippi has the resources needed to be a leader in biomass production.
Biomass is considered to be the wave of the future for energy generation. And if we can be able to utilize that biomass, then our possibilities are endless.
From Jackson, I'm Brian Utley reporting.
And if you'd like to see or listen to this story again, you can go to our Farm Week website at farmweek.msucares.com. We'll also have the phone numbers there to get you in touch with the Mississippi Alternative Energy Enterprise. And if you want to go to their website, that's www.msenergy.ms. And Leighton, one thing about it, you can make ethanol out of a lot of things. You don't have to make it just strictly out of corn. You can make it out of corn stalks. You can make it out of a lot of things like that. So hopefully we'll see those sorts of technologies come together for us. Well, we are at the end of this week's Farm Week. Next week, the new Mississippi Tree Farmer of the Year will be named this Wednesday evening in Jackson, and we'll have a profile of him in next week's feature segment.
And in Southern Gardening next week, if you would like larkspurs next year, Norman Winter says the time to start is now.
Well, for the rest of the Farm Week crew, I'm Artis Ford.
And I'm Leighton Spann. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back next week.